Have you ever felt like every door you knock on is bolted shut? That every path you choose leads to a dead end? This was the world that Leo inhabited, a world where the bitter taste of failure was his constant companion. He was a young man with a heart full of dreams, but his spirit was heavy, worn down by a relentless series of setbacks. Every project he started, every opportunity he chased, seemed to crumble into dust just as he reached for it. The weight of his own perceived inadequacy became so unbearable that he felt he had only one option left: to seek wisdom from someone who had supposedly transcended the struggles of the world. He journeyed to a quiet monastery perched on a hill overlooking the sprawling, indifferent city, home to an old master known for his profound insights. Leo, with his shoulders slumped, presented his weary soul to the master. He spoke of his endless efforts and his equally endless failures, his voice cracking as he asked, "Why does every door I open lead to nothing?" The master listened patiently, his eyes holding a deep, calm understanding. Without a word, he stood and beckoned Leo to follow. He led him not to a library of ancient scrolls, but to a long, dimly lit corridor he had never seen before. On either side, stretching into the gloom, was an endless array of doors. Some were grand and ornate with polished brass handles, others were plain and wooden, and many were old and weathered. "The answer you seek is in this hallway," the master said, his voice echoing softly. "You must find the right door." Filled with a flicker of hope, Leo began his task. He first chose a magnificent oaken door, certain it must lead to somewhere important. It swung open to reveal a solid brick wall. Disappointed, he moved to the next, a simple, white door. It opened into a small, empty room thick with dust. He tried another, and a fierce gust of wind slammed it shut in his face. He spent hours in that corridor. He opened doors that led to dark voids, to rooms filled with mirrors reflecting his own frustrated face, and to other, smaller corridors with yet more doors. With each failure, the familiar despair began to coil in his stomach. The initial hope soured into bitter frustration. He wanted to scream, to give up, to tell the master that this was just another of life's cruel jokes. He was exhausted, his hands sore from turning countless handles. Just as he was about to sink to the floor in defeat, his eyes caught something he had missed, a small, unassuming door tucked away in the shadows. It was ugly, with paint peeling off in flakes and a handle rusted with age. It looked forgotten and worthless. With the last ounce of his energy, expecting nothing, he pulled the creaky handle. It opened, but this time, he wasn't met with a wall or an empty room. He was bathed in a warm, golden light. Before him lay the most beautiful garden he had ever seen. A gentle stream trickled over smooth stones, flowers of impossible colors bloomed in abundance, and the air was filled with a serene, peaceful energy. He stepped through, breathless. The master appeared by his side. "You see, Leo," he said gently, "the wrong doors were not your punishment. They were your preparation. Each one that led to disappointment was not a sign of your failure, but a part of your journey. It taught you what wasn't for you, and by closing, it pushed you forward, one step closer to this one. The only true mistake would have been to stop trying." That moment changed everything. Leo returned to the city, but he was no longer the same man. He carried the lesson of the corridor in his heart. He failed again, many times. His academic pursuits hit walls, his first business venture collapsed, and relationships faltered. But now, he saw each setback not as a final verdict, but as another wrong door. Each failure was a teacher, a guidepost pointing him in a new direction. He learned, he adapted, he persevered. Years passed, and Leo found his purpose not in the grand success he once craved, but in becoming a guide for others. He became a teacher, helping children navigate their own confusing corridors of life. He taught them that the wrong doors are not a punishment, but a necessary part of finding the right one. He showed them that mistakes are not the end, but the very beginning of understanding, and that the only real failure is to stop walking down the hall.